Okay, let's talk about the perfect date. What even is that? Is it something simple or is it, I don't know, a private jet to an island? Well, today we are diving into one of MrBeast's wildest videos ever. He set out to find the answer with a budget that went from just one single dollar all the way up to 500,000. Yeah, let's break it down.
So this is really the whole question the video is trying to answer, right? What is the real difference? Does more money automatically mean a better time? Or is there a point where it's just too much, maybe the secret ingredient isn't money at all? We're about to find out.
And I mean, look at this. This really puts the scale of this whole thing into perspective. You start with a $1 date on a creaky, kind of sketchy looking Ferris wheel, and you end up with all of Disneyland, just for you. The gap between those two things is just mind-blowing. But here's the thing that's actually really cool about this whole video, the why behind it. Jimmy talks about how he's filming like 20, 25 days every single month. That's insane. So he basically built this entire massive video idea just so he could get some real quality time with his fiancée, Thea. So beneath all the crazy stunts, it's actually about something pretty down to earth. All right, so let's get into the journey itself. We're going to see how things just escalate like crazy, from a fancy dinner to, yeah, a whole private city. Okay, first big leap. We jumped to a $10,000 date. And the idea was sweet, you know? They wanted to recreate their first date, which was sushi. Except this time, the sushi chef was, wait for it, Gordon Ramsay. The actual Gordon Ramsay. And you know what you got with Gordon Ramsay, right? You get the personality. Jimmy's friends end up crashing the date, and Ramsay just unleashes on him. He hits him with the classic, "What are you, an idiot sandwich?" Honestly, that moment alone might have been worth the 10 grand. So we level up again. $50,000. And for this one, it wasn't just about them. They made it a quadruple date. Jimmy and Thea got a whole private island and flew out some of their friends, couples who hadn't seen each other in weeks because of other videos. It was all about sharing the fun. And I mean, 50 grand gets you a pretty nice getaway. They were jet skiing, getting couples massages, playing volleyball, the works. They even did this thing where they hit biodegradable golf balls full of fish food into the ocean. Pretty cool. And to top it all off, a private fireworks show. Again, just driving home that whole idea of a shared experience. All right, now it's getting ridiculous. For $100,000, they rented out an entire indoor city. I'm talking a theme park, a giant water park, and an indoor ski slope. And that's where you get this really funny, kind of sweet moment where Jimmy is just completely failing at skiing, and it's just a great, real interaction between him and Thea. Now, for the next one, things take a really interesting turn. This one's a $250,000 date, but it's not even for Jimmy and Thea. Nope. This time, Jimmy is playing wingman for his buddy Nolan. And Nolan's date? Oh, just a global music superstar. The mission is simple, but the pressure is on. Get Nolan a second date. And the matchup here is just priceless. You've got Madison Beer, a superstar, Grammy nominee, billions of streams. And then you've got Nolan, who Jimmy himself calls his awkward friend. The guy who, when he gets nervous, literally starts talking about corn. The contrast is just perfect comedy. So how do they make this happen? With an absolutely insane plan. Jimmy is literally hiding in a bathroom coaching Nolan through an earpiece. They've planned the whole date around Madison's passions, an animal sanctuary, for example. And then they throw in these huge flexes, like a $10,000 tip for the waiter and a private dinner on an actual ice rink. No expense spared. But even with all the coaching, Nolan is still Nolan. At one point, he drops this line, "Sorry, I just got lost in your eyes," which is pretty good. But then he follows it up with, "I was staring into the abyss." It's so perfectly awkward, but somehow it works. And believe it or not, it totally worked. He got the second date. Mission accomplished. The wingman operation was a massive success. And that brings us to the grand finale. Okay, here we go. The absolute peak. The $500,000 date. The biggest, most incredible experience of the whole video. They got to spend a private night at Disneyland. I mean, that's something you just can't normally do. It's legendary. And let's be clear about how insane this is. According to the video, this is the first time in history that Disney has ever reserved the entire park for a private date night. This is not something money can usually buy. This was a truly once-in-a-lifetime, impossible kind of experience. And you know what's so perfect about this? Remember how this whole thing started? On that little creaky $1 Ferris wheel? Well, it ends here, on the giant, iconic Disneyland Ferris wheel. It's just the perfect way to bring the whole journey full circle. Just try to picture it. You have Disneyland completely to yourselves. No lines, you can just walk right onto the Star Wars ride. You can build your own lightsabers. You can win all the carnival prizes you want for your dates. And then, a private dinner right in front of the castle, followed by your own personal parade. It's just unbelievable. So after everything, from the $1 date all the way up to this, Jimmy asks Thea which one was her favorite, and she picks the Disneyland finale. But her reason, it wasn't about the rides or the castle. She just said, because everybody's here. It all came back to sharing that amazing moment with all their friends. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? The $1 date was special in its own way, and the $500,000 date was obviously epic. But if you look at the whole journey, the message seems pretty clear. The perfect date isn't really about how much it costs. It's about creating these one-of-a-kind memories with the people you care about. And that kind of leaves you with a big question, doesn't it? When an experience can get as huge and exclusive as a private parade at Disneyland, where do you find the real value? Is it in the spectacle itself, or is it just in the people you share it with? Definitely something worth thinking about.